topic is also very interesting. Today we are going to talk about the inside the hustle of enrollment growth. So in the next 40 minutes, we will learn from the leaders, from the expert, that what goes behind the show to scale the enrollment. And before we start, maybe we can have a quick round of introduction, and maybe we'll start with you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Neeraj Jain, associated with Purnima Group since 2001. So it's a long 24 years journey in education and around 22 years in the admission ecosystem.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. R.K. Gupta, Associate Dean, School of Engineering, Manipal University, Jaipur.
Good evening to all of you. Professor Karunesh Saxena, Vice Chancellor, Sangam University, Bhilwara. Previously worked with Mohanlal Sokhadia University. Have more than 35 years of experience in the field of management education. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Onkar Bagadia, CEO of Vivekananda Global University, Jaipur.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anand Gupta. I am serving education industry from last more than 20 years, specifically in admission and marketing. Currently, I am with IIM Udaipur, heading the admission department. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Archana Surana. I am the founder and director of Arch College of Design and Business. We are a 25-year-old institution affiliated to the University of Rajasthan.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Professor Dheera Sanadia. I'm Chief Operating Officer Admissions at Jaipur National University. I'm working there since 2006 and associated with admissions since 2021.
Thank you so much, everyone. So I think my first question would be for Dr. Professor Saxena. Sir, आपने दोनों ही side काम किया in terms of you have been into the government side, now you have been heading the private university. So what all changes you have seen in terms of the admission as compared to government versus private? If you can share your experience with all of us, sir.
Yeah. Good evening to my fellow panelists. It's an interesting question, सिद्धार्थ. और जैसा हमने तय किया था कि थोड़ा मिक्स लैंग्वेज में बात कर लेंगे, तो मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि देयर हैज़ बीन ए पैराडाइम शिफ्ट. जब हम गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम में काम करते हैं तो डिमांड रेशियो आप सभी जानते हैं कि अगर एक सीट है तो कम से कम 100 एप्लीकेशंस आ जाती हैं. खासकर अगर हम IITs की IIMs की बात करें तो वहाँ पर इस तरह का सिनेरियो रहता है. प्राइवेट सेक्टर में बिल्कुल रिवर्स हो जाता है. इसलिए मैंने कहा पैराडाइम शिफ्ट है. मुझे एक बार पहले भी मौका मिला था. मैं 2004 में पैसिफिक इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट में डेपुटेशन पर गया था, तो वहाँ थोड़ा अनुभव रहा 3.5 साल का. और उस समय मैनेजमेंट एजुकेशन पीक पर भी था, तो वहाँ भी एनरोलमेंट का उतना इशू नहीं था. लेकिन जब मैंने यहाँ संगम यूनिवर्सिटी में 2021 में ज्वाइन किया, अभी मेरी सेकेंड टर्म चल रही है, तो मैंने ये देखा कि एनरोलमेंट, स्टूडेंट एनरोलमेंट इज़ वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज. और अगर हम ये कहें कि की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर है किसी वाइस चांसलर का, तो वो यही है कि आपके यूनिवर्सिटी में कितने बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं. तो उस समय जो है हमारे करीब 2000 स्टूडेंट्स थे यूनिवर्सिटी में एनरोल्ड, और हमारे हेड मार्केटिंग भी आए डॉक्टर अमित जैन. तो इन्होंने बहुत डायनेमिकली काम किया मेरी लीडरशिप में, और हमें बताते हुए खुशी है कि मेरी 3 साल की टर्म में ये एनरोलमेंट रेशियो डबल हो गया. करीब 4000 बच्चे अभी इस वक्त संगम यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ रहे हैं. इसमें मुझे ऐसा लगा कि ये एक ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ हो तो अच्छा रहता है. आप जैसे कहते हैं ना कि भाई आप सेलिंग ना करें, मार्केटिंग करें. गंजे को कंगी ना बेचें, एस्किमो को बर्फ ना बेचें. आप बच्चे की साइकी और बच्चे की एस्पिरेशन समझें, थोड़ा साइकोमेट्रिक एनालिसिस करें. और कहीं ना कहीं आप तो सभी एडमिशन के स्टालवर्ड्स बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पर, तो मुझसे तो आप लोग ज़्यादा ही जानते हैं इन चीज़ों को. मैं तो सिर्फ काम कराना जानता हूँ, आप तो करते हैं. कहीं ना कहीं वर्ड ऑफ माउथ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है. मैं राइट रीना जी?
Yes, I agree.
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा. अच्छा, इसमें भी क्या है कि गुड वर्ड ऑफ माउथ स्प्रेड्स रिलेटिवली स्लोअर, बैड वर्ड ऑफ माउथ स्प्रेड्स मच फास्टर. अच्छा, अब एक और प्रॉब्लम आ गई जो टेक्नोलॉजी की, ई वर्ड ऑफ माउथ. ई वर्ड ऑफ माउथ तो आप समझिए कि वायरल हो जाता है बिल्कुल. तो ये चीज़ें हैं जो चैलेंज हमें थोड़े से मैनेज करना होते हैं. मैं समझता हूँ कि कहीं ना कहीं अगर हमने अपने एजुकेशन सिस्टम को स्टूडेंट सेंटर्ड बना लिया और हमने उसके होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ पर्सनालिटी पे अगर फोकस कर लिया और बच्चे को जिस दिन ये समझ में आ गया कि ये टीचर या ये इंस्टीट्यूशन हमारे डेवलपमेंट के लिए कमिटेड है, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि देन एनरोलमेंट विल फॉलो. जैसे 3 इडियट में वो कहते हैं सेंट्रल कैरेक्टर आमिर खान के डोंट गो फॉर सक्सेस, गो फॉर एक्सेलेंस, सक्सेस विल फॉलो. तो मैं यही चाहता हूं कि हम स्टूडेंट सेटिस्फेक्शन पे काम करें, एनरोलमेंट्स विल फॉलो. ऑफ कोर्स टेक्नोलॉजी प्लेज ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. और मेरिटो का मैं धन्यवाद दूंगा कि इतना अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म, इतने अच्छे फेलो पैनलिस्ट और इतनी बढ़िया ऑडियंस दी है. तो मैनी थैंक्स.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience. I'll directly jump on to Onkar, sir. So you have built one of the largest private university in the state. So you started a journey almost more than a decade back. So what are challenges you have faced in last so many years? क्योंकि हर साल जब भी हम बात करते to scale enrollments, there are some challenges which we face. So कौन कौन से challenges you have faced and how you have overcome all those?
देखिए, when it comes to the good private universities, one of the biggest challenge for us instead of number is the quality of the student which we are looking at. And secondly, almost everyone knows that all private universities have their TG very clearly, that this is my fee structure and this I have to get the student on that fee structure. So that is the biggest challenge I will feel is there in front of the private universities. Secondly, when we look at the overall scenario of the country, today, when we are planning that by 2035, our GER should be 45% or a 50%, that means every institute has to grow by 40% every year. If you are not growing by the 40% every year, you are somewhere not at the average. This is a very clear. If you are saying that my admissions are growing by 10%, 15% or a 20%, then somewhere you are following below the average mark. We all know which are the universities which are moving faster, 40%, 50%, 60%. There was a time, and I think Neeraj ji will agree to me, when we used to say in the engineering institutions, there are 240 seats, 480 seats, 80 seats, 1200 seats. Today, all that things have gone. There are universities in the country which are doing 24,000, 30,000, 50,000 admission in single branch. Right? So that competition which was earlier was, we have seen that competition wherein इसकी 300 बढ़ जाएगी, 301 अपने आप मेरे पास आ जाएगा. Now there is nothing like that. If you are at good, you will get the maximum admissions. If you are not good, you will be out of the market. And the prime criteria is, and I call for the category of the universities which we run, is the placement and the student grooming. That plays a major role, and almost if you are able to crack that thing, I think all your problems will be solved. Secondly, with the 50,000 plus universities or 1 lakh plus universities having student base, their pocket size is very high. They can go to the every corner of this world and get the student, and you will not be able to get from your own. So this level of highly intensified competition is the biggest challenge. We are seeing a future wherein even the NEP says that by 2030, maybe it will be implemented 5 years later, 2035, there will be no affiliated institutions. There will be only universities. How many? 3,000, 5,000. Today competition of 40,000 institutions, then the competition will be of 5,000 institutions. So things are growing at a very fast speed. Secondly, with AI coming up, the level of education, the level of personalized grooming to the student will be a bigger challenge. Today, knowledge is available on Google, The student is coming only for the experience. The experience, he deals at your gate, he deals with your faculty, he deals with your accounts officer, he deals with your mess person is the key. If the experience is bad, in this quick commerce scenario, the things will be challenging. And the last is the online education. Whether we are a part of that story or not, but the institutions which are running the online education, for them, it is, these universities are much bigger, even the edtechs. Byju's upgrade also will be smaller in next 5 years than the universities running the online education. Sir from Manipal knows what number we are talking about, right? He clearly knows we are also one of the person delivering online education, but that competition is a bigger competition for all universities, all institutions in the country. Thank you.
So I'll have a follow-up question you spoke about, because now VUG is also offering online courses, right? So how the strategy changes when it comes to offline versus online? If you can throw some light over there also.
There is no change. Experience and placement is the key.
Great, sir.
There is the digital experience, and here it is the physical experience. The quality of education, the quality of assessment, because the assessment we don't focus in the institutions usually, but the quality of delivery and the quality of assessment is the only key for good enrollments.
Great, sir. So my next question to you, Anand sir. Sir spoke about competition, right? And you are being a part of, let's say, IIM Udaipur. Every year you also have to grow. So what are your strategy in terms of to maintain that 40, 50, 60% growth when you also have a brand with you, which is IIM Udaipur?
In case of IIMs, if I talk about, it's a different ball game actually there. So we have a fixed seat. So obviously we can't work on the
But
every
the
year.
quality then you have to improve year on year.
So obviously we have to work on the quality. So here we have to, we are working on getting a good quality of applications. So our role, our strategy is going in and around where we can get the good quality of the these applications. Now, what strategy we are following in that way? That we are creating the experience center where students are coming up through online, through offline mode, where they are experiencing the campus and the quality of the faculty member that we are having, the panelists that we are having. They are talking to them, experiencing their learnings. Plus, we have a good database of the alumni. So we also create a platform where they can connect with the alumni. Okay. And then third is the, obviously, which is true for everyone, which is the placement. So placement is something where we connect the students who are already placed in some good companies. So we connect these people to the new experience. So once they are talking to them, they are means creating their faith into the system, ecosystem of IIMs. So my first goal is that you should have a faith in the IIM first, and then why IIM Udaipur. So there we have to do some strategic more drill down, where we see the facilities that we are providing in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of the faculty panel, and in terms of the curriculum that we are providing. Because in every IIMs, different curriculums are there, so which is independent to each IIM. So these things that we focus on, so curriculum, faculty members, and infrastructure, that focus on the IIM Udaipur. Apart from that, I would like to add one more thing, as my fellow panel was sharing, like online versus offline. In my previous assignment, I joined one of the university in Punjab actually. It's a private university, and they formed a very new IDLE department. IDLE means Institute of Distance and Online Learning Program. That time, which was very new, and they were struggling to form, along with the regular education, that online education also. I joined them, and then I was also started struggling how to increase the number in these IDLE program, and how we can build the trust in the online space. Because in online space, nothing is connected to each other. Students who are sitting remotely, they are not connected to university directly. So I made only two changes, the major changes in the entire process of the admission cycle actually. So we had UG and PG program, specifically focusing on the MBA program. So that time we made two change. One is the follow up, that we do follow up. Everybody here, we do follow up. They call do all the inquiries, nurturing the inquiries, and if they are good, we are putting into the follow up bucket. After that, we forget that. ये follow up में है, so चलेगा. So what happens? I got the database, analyzed the thing. End of the day, I realized that we are not focusing much on the follow-up database. We are focusing more and more nurturing a new leads. So that become pile up and pile up. So my first target was to further focusing on the follow-up. So we made a separate team. We made a 3-tier of academic counselor. One who is calling to the very fresh lead. Second, who are calling at the mediator leads, and third, who are very much mature and hot category of leads. So, and all these academic counselors are having a different communication level as well. So, people who are at the top tier, they are refined people, and they are talking to very less candidates. So, that given the jump. Second approach that I have made in the online education is that, obviously, in the admission process, experience center. So, people who are in the hot category, we invite them. With our own expenses, and then we are giving a tour of the university, connecting with the dean, registrar, the chancellor of the private university. It's a good experience, trying to create a good experience. So they know where they are going to take admission. Nothing means everything is not happening online. We are creating one element which is really a touch point. So that has jumped and given a very positive result. When I joined, that was the time when there was an annual enrollment around 2,500 something across all UG PG program. After myself, when I joined, after that jump goes to 7,800 numbers. Major was in MBA program, but overall, if I look at the numbers, that was going to 7,800. So this a little changes, you can say, tactics I have made, and that was the achievement that we have made.
So to achieve all these goals you spoke about, we reached out to, let's say, we nurtured some kids, we did some follow-ups. How important is technology for admissions?
Obviously, technology as a tool, actually, we are human being and we have a tendency to forget. Whenever we are coming, we are leaving the desk today evening and we are coming to the next day in the morning. We don't know what need to be done and what need to be followed up and what I have done last night, last day. Okay, so here the tools are helping us to fill the gap, one thing. Secondly, the follow-up is coming up on a very refined way. On your desk, it is just follow-up is a pop-up and you can call them. And also you can see for that particular lead, how many times you have made communication, right? How many times you have made outbound call, how many times they have made inbound call, and how many times we have made SMS, WhatsApp, and communication. One more thing here I would like to add here, like in my analysis, in my database or that private university, if I look at, students who have made more inbound call, such students are more likely to get the admission. Okay, where we have made only outbound call, outbound WhatsApp, outbound SMS, and outbound emails, 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, an entire inquiry journey, they are very least likely to join the program. But if they have made 1 or 2 calls just for solving the query, so we started working on that. We started filtering out all those data where we are getting the inbound call from these inquiries. So we started focusing on such inquiries, created a specific
and
bucket.
You're able to see all this data only because of technology you have in place.
Obviously.
Correct.
Because every student's timeline, I think I was not using the Meritto that time, I was using different technology. But the way we have the Meritto as of now, like if you click on the students' timelines, you can see entire timeline are there. When they have started the journey and where they are as of now, how many times of communication we have made till entire journey. So that is very insightful information we have, and that's going to play a very important role in the private university, private institution case. If we look at those parameters and how we can refine the inquiries, then we can focus on those things. That will surely give a very good result in terms of final admission.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ma'am, Archana ma'am, next question is for you. This is little tricky. So what is your biggest fear to use technology, especially in admissions? The biggest fear to use technology in admissions?
We have embraced technology much earlier in our journey. While I can't relate with the numbers which are in 5 digits here that they're talking about admissions, because we are a very unique segment which is design. And I have been one of the forerunners in the country. In fact, it's our 25th year. I started very small, and I used to market, I used to promote, I used to do sales, I used to teach, I did everything. So my journey started with True Rooms. So my experience of admissions and knowing the customer is very deep, where I understand what they want. But I've seen lately that, while we were trying to create awareness around design, it was considered more as a vocational stream. Whereas today, design is the largest differentiator on the planet when it comes to understanding the value of design and how it can really bring a difference to the work that we are doing. Today, after the Stanford and the Harvard, they've started looking at the word design thinking. Design is now integrated at all realms inside the industry, academia, even within governance. So today also we face this challenge where parents still feel that traditional, programs are much better in terms of finding placement or entrepreneurship. Whereas when we are talking about a creative economy today, which is the orange economy, this is where the world is progressing. All developed economies have worked in this direction. So while you said about technology, we embraced it much, much earlier. But I see there's a huge resistance in people because the people who have come from the backgrounds, they did not learn through technology in their times, right? So for them it is because they still want to do things their way, right? So I feel that people are still not very open to embracing technology. That's the challenge. But definitely we've been using it for admission process to the assessment and all our writing our assignments, our students putting in on their drives and whatever. So yes, there has been a total shift into the way how the student is today looking at, even taking admissions. They're overwhelmed because everybody is using technology and there are emails, WhatsApps, SMSs, and even the bots are calling them up. So I think the student today really doesn't know where to fit in. For them, it is a very difficult choice today. कहाँ जाना है, कौन सा इंस्टीट्यूशन चूज करना है, किधर, कैसे वो डिसीजन ले रहे हैं. मुझे अगर आप कुछ समझा दें इसमें तो मुझे बड़ा मजा आ जाएगा. आज मैं तो आज इस प्रश्न को लेके आई हूँ, जाता कहाँ है और क्यों जाता है और क्या देख के जाता है.
So ma'am, we have
I have
today
not
Aditi with us,
understood.
who will tell us about more
मैं
about
25 साल से अगर प्लेसमेंट नहीं देती तो मैं 2 कमरे से यहाँ नहीं पहुँचती. तो मुझे लगता है I've given them value. I sit as vice president on world's largest forum for art media, design and architecture from 70 countries. We have 391 universities and colleges as members. It's an 11-country international board. And from India, I am the one who's representing the global south. And you see where I am talking about design today, which has moved from sustainable design to service design to system design. We are still thinking kapda, fashion, jewelry. उसके अलावा हमारा डिज़ाइन समझ में नहीं आता कि डिज़ाइन होता क्या है. सो मैं ये कहने लग रही हूँ, मैं वहाँ सोच रही हूँ और बच्चा कहाँ सोच रहा है, पेरेंट की समझ और ही दूसरी जगह है. तो हम लोग तो बहुत प्रोग्रेसिव एजुकेशन सिस्टम है. आई मीन डिज़ाइन इज़ अ वेरी प्रोग्रेसिव pedagogic approach, and we have constantly evolved, right from industrial products to service design to communication today, which has become a big thing. So I think, yes, the narrative is very important when the kind of communication that we are doing with the student, because I think वहीं पर catch है कि narrative क्या है और बच्चे को कौन सा और parent को कौन सा narrative click कर गया. I think वहाँ पर I think there is a...
How important is channel also along with narrative? Which all channels are also important today?
So when we are using channels, I think today we have to use all the channels. It's WhatsApp to messaging to bots to using the the emailers and the आपके Meta to SEO. I mean all these Google. ये तो सारे आपको tools use करने पड़ते हैं. You don't know what works. And you have to keep doing everything. So multiple आपको पैसा लगाते रहना पड़ता है. आपको पता नहीं किधर से निकल के कहाँ पर क्या आएगा. तो अखबार में भी डालो, उधर भी ब्रांडिंग करो, पीआर एक्टिविटी भी करो, डिजिटल में भी पैसा लगाओ, बहुत मार्केटिंग पे खर्चा हजारों गुना. तो आप लोग हैं सबसे ज्यादा जो बेनिफिट
कर रहे हैं. We'll give you a demo of Meritto to better optimize your campaigns. You take our demo to better optimize the campaigns.
I know, because there is a different model I have. That is why I am here on the panel today.
Yeah, and we also have Ma'am Aditi with us from Meta.
Yeah.
So she'll be talking about how you can better utilize Meta platform to reach out to the audience today, later in the day.
Yeah, because everybody claims that, but where is it? मतलब today there's a mushroom growth of private universities, to be very honest, and factory schooling से हम factory colleging में चले गए हैं अभी. So अभी हम जब experience की बात कर रहे हैं तो कहाँ experience कैसे create करोगे आप इतने लोगों के लिए? एक्सपीरियंस कितना इंडिविजुअल होता है, कितना हर लर्नर का अपना अंडरस्टैंडिंग होता है एज एक्सपीरियंस, राइट? एंड यू वांट टू, हम तो छोटे ग्रुप्स में काम करते हैं तो भी इतना चैलेंजिंग है. हर किसी को चाहिए अपने घर से काम करे, किसी का मूड ही नहीं है आज कॉलेज आने का, किसी का मूड है मैं अपने तरीके से पढ़ूँ, इस कोर्स को भी मैं अपने तरीके से पढ़ूँ. सो बहुत ज़्यादा चैलेंजिंग है. सो आई एम हैप्पी दैट यू आर स्टिल इन ट्रेडिशनल फील्ड्स एंड आप नंबर्स की बात कर पा रहे हैं. सो अगर आप बहुत स्पेशलाइज्ड एजुकेशन में जाते हैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा चैलेंजेस बहुत ज़्यादा है.
सो हाउ डू यू मेजर सक्सेस इन ऑल दीज एरियाज कि ये मेरा सक्सेस हुआ, ये फेलियर रह गया?
मेरा सक्सेस तो इसमें है कि जो बच्चा एक अच्छा एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाए, एक तो वो हमारा, बिकॉज इंक्यूबेशन, सो वी आर वेरी होलिस्टिक इन आवर अप्रोच, राइट. और सुबह हमारी आनापान मेडिटेशन से हमारा दिन शुरू होता है, जो कि विपश्यना की साधना का पहला अंश है, और वहीं लेकर हमारा इंक्यूबेशन तक हमारा एंड होता है. सो वी हैव लॉट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स. अभी भी जैसे गोवा में बैठे हुए हैं तो 4 यूरोपियन यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के साथ है और इंडियन 4 इंस्टीट्यूशंस है. इट्स इम्पैक्ट फोकस्ड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का है. सो जब हम डिज़ाइन की बात करते हैं, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप गोज हैंड इन हैंड, राइट. सो वी डू दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स. इट्स अ 3-year लॉन्ग यूरोपियन यूनियन फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट. तो हम यूनिवर्सिटी ये इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स बहुत करते हैं. इंडस्ट्री प्रोजेक्ट्स लाते हैं क्लासरूम के अंदर में, जैसे जयपुर मेट्रो की यूनिफॉर्म में हमारी डिज़ाइन करी हुई है विच वेंट इनसाइड द क्लासरूम, राइट. सो द इंटेंट इज टू ब्रिंग दैट एक्सपीरियंस एंड yes, our success is only when our students really make it good, and finding jobs is not difficult at all. मेरे पास जितनी डिमांड है सप्लाई कम है मेरे पास में. तो मुझे तो ये है कि आप में से किसी को भी डिज़ाइन के अंदर में सप्लाई करवानी, आप मेरे को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं. एंड वी आर रियली गुड एट इट.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question is to you. You hit the admissions, right? So for you, what are the metrics that you see कि ये सक्सेसफुल है या लेट्स से ये फेलियर हो गया? सो आपके माइंड में व्हाट आर टॉप 5 metrics that you see to measure success of admissions?
Thanks for your question. Like, it's a difficult question for me because only 5 is really,
Let's say top 5, top 3, anything.
It's difficult to answer, but I'll try. Like, if I measure the success, according to me, it should be the retained number of admissions. Like, if I have done the admission, I have multiplied the number of admissions, but out of those admissions, how many students have really opted to study with my university is the current success matter. Secondly, the kind of students we are getting, the quality of the students. Like, we never compromise with the quality education. So the students who are opting to study at Jaipur National University, we usually take the entrance examinations or the personal interviews, and we take the qualified students only. Third, if I'm getting a good number of admission, I have to look at the placements. What are the placements my university is offering to the students? If I am able to get the good companies on campus and I am able to get the good placement record, then only it will be a measure of success for me. Fourth is, obviously, as sir mentioned, that the positive feedback. The alumni who are passing out of my university, they are giving me a positive feedback. Then only I will take it as a success measure. Then fifth one is no doubt the student satisfaction. That must be the top priority, that the student is satisfied with the academics we are offering, the kind of environment we are giving to them, and the holistic approach. So these all 5 measures.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ravi sir, my next question is to you. At Manipal, Jaipur, we get students from across the country, right? So what are your different strategies for different students from different states? Is it same for everyone, or do you have, let's say if you have to target kids from Andhra, you have to follow some different strategy versus if you have to target kids from Punjab? So how do you do it?
From the admission point of view, we have students from across the country and covering all states and union territory except 1 or 2. Otherwise, this is I can say that the all representation is there, even though in terms of the food or in terms of the students. And how we are marketing, because there are 2 things in the admissions. One is how we are growing as a university. One is our vertical growth or the horizontal growth. someone is growing vertically, taking admission in the single program, or someone is increasing the number of programs and then they are moving horizontally. So being a director admission previously, what I did I made a balance between the number of admissions and the number of programs. So we have gone linearly. And then we have identified from the which state there is a more demand. Like if you look at the Gujarat state, more demand towards the core engineering. Or if you go to towards the other side, Punjab side, they are more focused towards the computer science engineering. So we have focused our digital marketing like that. Like the sir has said or the madam has said, there are 5 points about the admissions and then the advertisement. So like print media or the advertisement in the magazines, they are not giving the admissions. They are only for the good relations. Or that shows the visibility of the university, ki like the tiger jinda hai. Right, that's only print never gives the admissions, even though that's you can't count, you cannot count the numbers, ki how much admissions we are getting through the print media. Admissions are only coming through your word of mouth, like the sir has said, the word of mouth, e-wording, or through the digital media, or how you are communicating to the students. One is if any students or their parents, because during the corona or during the last 5 years, what I have observed, students is looking the different content on the website or on the social media about the university, but their parents, like the father or mother, they are looking the different contents for their ward. So we have observed that what the parents want to see on the social media or on the website, and what the students want to see it. That communication we have provided to the students. Like a student wants a student's life, campus life at the campus. They want to see the hostel, right? How the students are interacting to each other, what is their communication or what they want. So, but the parents, what they are looking, placement. What they are looking, curriculum. What the curriculum we are providing. Like one of the parents, they have suggested 3 years, 4 years back, supposed to be my students is admitted into the mechanical engineering and he wanted to do a course in the computer science. What are the options is there? Then what we have done, because we are having the one strategy at the campus, every 2 years we are conducting the curriculum conclave. So we have added one flexi core. Second year onwards, students can opt the flexi core, means flexi core courses from the other department, but it is mandatory. If you have opted in the second year, then it will go to the third year. The similar kind of courses, one courses of the similar kind, then the same courses and the fourth year. So they have option. Then the program elective or the open elective. So parents are more happy because curriculum, the core courses what you are providing, that is as per the AICTE or UGC norms. But the other courses what you are adding, flexi core, the program elective or the open elective, that based on the feedback or the industry demand, you are adding these courses. Right. Then the other one is placement statistics. And a third point is most of the parents, they want to see, apart from the placements, alumni. Correct. Where your alumni is situated. Like last year, I have gone to the Dubai, Shahbaz was there. Correct. Then we have met one alumni connect there. And I have seen first time, our students are working in the Dubai in the different places and the different organizations. Right. So the parents, they want to see the alumni also. So most important part in the admission part is one is the curriculum, other one is the communication, then the third one is you can see the placement, then alumni contact. Right. Apart from that, like the 5 points you have asked, I can add more points about this. What is the quality of students at the time of admissions? They are looking for that part. Because like minimum eligibility criteria, if you look at the AICTE, 45% in engineering. So can we, if 45% student can complete that graduation program in engineering? I'm not commenting to anyone, but it's quite difficult for them to complete the engineering courses. So what quality of students are admitting into the class or into the institution, that is also more important. Then apart from that, students coming from which area, which background, which schools, that is also a important program. So like that, we are marketing ourselves for the admissions. And then now in the Manipal University, more than 16,500 students is there. And we have started in 2011 from the 220 students. And now this year, and we'll stop this growth when we reach it to the 20,000. Beyond 20,000, we are not going to.
So what is that one thing that you don't do when you're targeting a PG student versus a UG student? Let's say one narrative that you do with UG, but you don't do with PG kids.
UG, That's a quite difficult question. So PG,
Or maybe it could be a secret sauce. Maybe you, if you want to add, ma'am, I think.
Our master's course are all design and entrepreneurship based too. So we focus on entrepreneurship as a very important element because even if you are an employee, you need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Because I talk about entrepreneurship as a mindset more than it's about value creation. Mm-hmm. So when you are at a master's level, you are actually seeking either an employment or you are going to be an employer. So both ways, it's very important to understand business processes, business plan, and that's what we make it very important. While they could look at electives, which could be product design or interior design or jewelry or fashion, to make sure that whichever creative industry they want to be a part of. So that's what we keep as a key focus within our master's program.
Got it.
So, and we've seen that, there has been a very good acceptance because of the entrepreneurial factor that is embedded. Mm-hmm. Even at the undergraduate level, while entrepreneurship is not as a part of the curriculum, which we have designed for the University of Rajasthan. In fact, it took me 15 years to get the course approved from the university because mainstream does not understand the value of design. They never thought it as a mainstream pathway ever, till private universities started adopting it. So we have, despite that, we teach them entrepreneurship and business within it. And people find it very interesting that the business aspect for designers is very important because institutions like NID, which was then set up, they never included business aspect ever. So उनके ना वो जो designers बड़े creative वाले और artistic रह गए. So वो business में बहुत रूप में बहुत कम लोग, very few to name as an institution which is 75 years old. They could build a lot of product designers or any kind of designer who were contributing to the industry but not as entrepreneurs or could build themselves in that sector very well. Yeah.
So Neeraj sir, my next question is to you. So growth in enrollments or at the same time usko sustain karna, because year on year, let's say if I'm doing 100 this year, maybe 200 next year, 300 next year. So what are challenges that you see on the go कि मेरे को sustain भी करना है, मेरे को grow भी करना है, and what all that you do to sustain and grow your enrollments?
Well, this is something that all of us face. It's always something that if this year you achieve a particular target or you do a numbers, then definitely next year, the way Bagadia said just right now said, 40% kam se kam badhna hai. So naturally, growth is one part. Sustainable growth is definitely one because it's like a cricket match. Every match is a new one. और आप century मारोगे पिछले match में, and this match will also bring a century. It is not written on the wall. You need to put efforts. You need to make better efforts than the previous years. And finally, I believe sustainability comes from your output. If the students' word of mouth is good, if you have delivered on the academic front as well as on the placement front, then no doubt that good word of mouth will fetch last year's number as well as a growth in the enrollments. And of course, a little bit we guys need to do. We need to put technology in place, showcase our achievements, spread the better things that you have achieved to your existing students as well as your upcoming students, potential students. And that's how you can do one, sustain the last year's numbers, and then achieve the growth over the previous year's number.
Right. So we have many people from the admission team in this hall. And before we close the session, maybe a one takeaway, maybe a one secret sauce for them, that what they can do, maybe in a 1 minute you can share, that if they do this year, maybe they'll find some success, maybe some growth in the admission. Maybe one secret sauce from each one of you for the members that we have today in the hall. Maybe we'll start with you, ma'am.
It's very important to touch the lead. The lead, whatever the lead we are receiving in our system at any platform or CRM, in the minimum time we should touch the lead and we should convey the message to that, because the same database is available with all the universities. So whoever will approach first will take the admission.
Ma'am.
I think we need to work on the narrative and the communication of who we are, and we need to be, the uniqueness that we bring in. Each institution is unique and each learner is unique. So that matchmaking is what people should be able to see when in the narrative.
So In India, we have 58,000 institutions. So we are competing with all those institutions. So we have to keep these things in mind, what they are doing extra and what we are not missing out something. So we need to focus on something strategy-wise, always something new. And also we should remember that the student that we are catering, they are new age student. They have very less patience. They are very much prone to the new social economy stigma, and then they are very much present on the social media. And being present on the social media, their way of thinking is also very much different. People who are a bookworm and people who are on social media, the way they both people are thinking in an entirely different way. People who are bookworm, we can share with them the institutions ranking, growth, prospect. But people who are on social media, we should share with them what exactly we should share with them. We should share with them what exactly you are going to do in the market and what kind of new career opportunity you are here are there, so that you can choose something new. So they are hungry for the new thing only. So this is the I think point for me as of now.
I think the one strategy which we follow at VU is very clear, and I think that will be helpful for all, is that analyze well, plan well, decide, and forget about others. What others are doing doesn't matter at all. What we are doing is the best, and we should do that only.
I think as a what we can call farewell remark, my strategy would be that let technology be the game changer, not game spoiler. What has happened in case of ChatGPT and all, that should not happen. Judicious use of technology, the right alignment, what our fellow panelists have been saying, particularly Archana ji and all, right alignment of students' requirement with the offering that we are having, right? So that is there. And finally, focus on entrepreneurship, alumni connect. These will definitely go a long way. Right.
So apart from all these strategies, what I suggest to all admission team, one is if you're touching the lead, at least ask your counselors to talk with the parents or the students to whom they are talking, minimum 2 minutes. If they are talking minimum 2 minutes, automatically it will be converted into the applications. If anyone is filling the application, it means somewhere he heard about the university or heard about the program. So he is interested, at least 50% he is interested. So talking to them, with the parents or the students, at least more than 3 minutes to convert it into the admissions. And definitely all leads and applications will be converted into the admissions. So follow this one. Thank you.
So my suggestion to the team, admission teams, very first thing, create value. Until and unless you will create value for your organization or value for your course, nobody will buy. And second, if you can do, just go through the lead journey. What are the previous comments? So that will give you a fair enough idea what is the pain point, for what particular thing this particular lead is waiting, and then from where I should start to pitch. That might help you to achieve better enrollments.
So reach out fast, write narrative, analyze, engage. That's the secret sauce to grow your enrollments. So on this note, we'll close this panel. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for taking out time, listening to us so seriously. Thank you so much. Thank you.